In this video, we are going to have the practical exposure of the silicon controlled rectifier. The silicon controlled rectifier SCR that is being used for the VI characteristics or IV characteristics is TYN616. Here the gate to cathode, we are giving a supply voltage from the left hand side of this box by rotating this knob with the maximum value is 15 volts. Similarly, the anode to cathode, we are giving a supply from the right hand side of the box by turning this knob to the maximum position, and we can give maximum of 30 volts. The gate voltage is given to the gate between gate and cathode through a resistor and ammeter. This resistor RG is having a minimum value of 0.5 kilo ohm and maximum value of 5.6 kilo ohm. Whereas the supply that is given to the anode to cathode by the supply, the maximum value is 30 volt. It is through a resistor called RA. The RA maximum value is 2.7 kilo ohms and the minimum is 50 ohm. If we keep this knob at the 50 ohm position, the minimum value, and we give a supply voltage as 30 volts, so nearly suppose 25 volts, so current will be 0.5 ampere. So we can see the current of anode IA here, and also the value of IG on this side of in this panel board. Now this panel board is turned off, and we have connected the multimeter over here. The multimeter on the left, let us set it at because it is going to measure 15 volt maximum, let us set it at 20 volt position. And this multimeter, which is measuring the voltage across the anode to cathode, it should be same as the, since it is automatically calibrating, so this value will be same as the anode voltage. And here this multimeter, we will keep it at the DC voltage position, and this value and these two values should be same. So right now it is on the right hand side, it is 8.2, on the left hand side it is 0.007. It is actually 0.007 means 7 millivolts, and the right hand side is 7.5 millivolts. You can see the device is off, still we are getting this 7 millivolts. That means the thyristor has got inherent capacitance between the anode and cathode, or the device having some capacitor that is getting reflected in the multimeter. So now let us turn on the switch and turn on this. So the first that what we are going to do is we will give the gate voltage to some value. So this point is not important what is the gate voltage. I am rotating the left hand side of the knob and the right, so the gate voltage will certainly increase. So let me fix it up this. So we have to turn this knob above. Once we turn this knob, so now we can see it is now 5 volts. I am increasing this value. So what is important to see is that if this voltage is increasing, there is change in the gate current or not. As we see right now, we are not getting any change in the, now we are getting a change in the gate current. It is 3.65 milliamperes. I am increasing the value of the gate voltage so that nearly 7.8 milliampere current will flow. So right now it is 6, and now let us increase it so that up to 8 milliampere current will be flowing through it. So I have rotated this knob to the fullest extent, and 14.54 volt is there, but still the gate current is 7.54. So still I want to improve the gate current, then I have to vary the value of RG, or that means I have to decrease the value of RG so that the current will increase. So now I am setting this value of the current to 8.25. It's oscillating because the supply voltage may be changing, that is why it is oscillating a lot. otherwise this should be set at some value 8 milliamperes. Now it is set at 8 milliamperes. Now next what we are going to do is we are going to give the voltage across anode to cathode. So when we give a voltage across anode to cathode here by rotating this, we will get a voltage that is reflected here. On the right hand side it will give us the voltage VA, and the left hand side it will give us voltage VAK, anode to cathode. So I am rotating the knob, and we are going to observe here how the voltage is different voltages we are going to observe here, and also we will see that what is the value of anode current. Right now it is 0.001. Since the gate current is now fluctuating a lot, it is now 8.88, so that is why it is seems like to be it is latched already. So let's observe it. It is still 8.89, so let me decrease the value of the Ig a little bit. I am decreasing the Vg so that the Ig value will decrease. So it is now 8.19. So now let us increase the value of Va and see that what is VAK. So I am increasing the value of VA 1.3 on the right hand side. Left hand side it is okay. Now it is from 2.1. Left hand side is 1.8. Right hand side 2.6. Left hand is 2.3. So we find that this is nearly equal. So VAK is same as the VA. And obviously this means that the circuit is off and some current is still flowing, that is 1 milliampere of current is flowing. So let us increase the value of VA further, and now it is 3.1 and 2.8, 3.6 and 3.3, 4.3 and this side is 4, 5 and this is 4.79. The current value is still 1 milliamperes or 0.001. Now increasing further, 6 and this is 6.8, 6.5, 7.4, 7.1, 7.8, 7.6, 8.5, 8.2, 9 and 8.73. So there is a difference, constant difference is there between VA and VAK. 10.6, 10.41, 10.11, this is 10.75, 12.24, 11.96. So we find that till now it is still 13-14 volt, but this VAK is still getting built up to the value of VA and is not decreasing. It seems like the gate current is not sufficient enough to latch the thyristor. So 21, this side is 21, 23, again 23. So we are building up 26. So it's like let me make it full to max. Okay, at 28 somewhere we find that this voltage on the left hand side it goes to 0.8, and at this moment the current is now 0.79. Like till before 28, like 27, this is about to hold it up to 27. Now just from 27 to 28 we find the left hand side the voltage has changed from 27 to suddenly 0.8, and the Ig value at this point is 8.11 and the Ia value is 0.79.